If you clicked on this video, most probably you struggle with bringing up the topic of money in your sales calls, or you just don't until and unless the other person brings up the topic of money. So today we are going to change that. Hi, this is Babashanita and I have closed almost $100,000 in sales and I'm just 22. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can ask for money to your prospect in the sales calls and close that person ethically while leaving a big smile on their face. So let's just dive right in. And this is exactly what we're going to talk about. This is the breakdown I came up with. And the idea for this video came to my mind while I was doing a cozy call with one of my clients. She's a divorce coach, and her belief was like her clients or prospects are already in a very mentally devastated space and she doesn't feel comfortable asking about money. So I was like, okay, let's change that. So I coached her on that point, but it gave me an idea about this video. So the first step is pre-qualifying with text. Before you even close that person, the closing process starts before they even get on a call with you. It starts with while you're having a conversation with them to book a call, or at least if they have booked a call in some other way, like through referral or through VSL or through ads, whatever. The way to qualify them is just have a conversation with them before they come on a call with you. Ask them about what they do, about their family and everything. I always ask you guys, I think I talked about this in my previous video. I never went in depth about my process, how exactly I close anybody that comes on the call with me. But the building the trust period, like making them feel like they're talking to a friend, is the key to any of my sales. Okay? So if you can do that before they come on a call with you, if you just make sure that you know about their friends, their family, like what they dislike, what are their interests and everything. And maybe ask the question while you're doing that what do you do? How do you support your bills? Because if they are running a business and if they're struggling, or maybe whatever, if they're struggling, what supports them? What supports their purchases? If they are doing a good job or doing a good business and you know they have the financial power, so you solve the biggest objection or the biggest problem anybody faces on a sales call, which is they don't have the money. But if they have the money, the sale becomes so much easier. If the prospect doesn't have the purchasing power, no matter how much good you are at sales, no matter how good you do with the pitch, no matter what you do, you are not going to close that person because they don't have the money. And I don't want you to give out free services, which is my client was doing. Okay. So if you pre-qualify them with text and also ask a few more questions about what are their purchasing behaviors. If you just bring up the topic of if you have bought something recently, they will probably also bring up a topic that they have bought something recently. And if it's expensive or something, like you know what kind of purchasing behavior that was. You can just ask the question of why did he buy it, like how it got your interest in something like that. So you will know what makes them buy something. So pre-qualifying it with a text is a huge step. Okay. And the second thing will be give an idea about your prices before the call. Obviously don't disclose the price before the call, but just give them an idea that this is your high-end client space, but you're obviously getting them in a more of a starter price or anything. But just say, this is what I used to get paid. This is about the revenue I made or something. Like just somehow bring up the topic that you are not cheap. Somehow. If you just let them know, they will come with that mindset, okay, this is going to be expensive. And also let them know that this is going to be a sales call. If it's not a sales call, don't pitch them. If they are not in their consciousness, they are coming to a call that's you're going to pitch to them, like it's going to be so much more uncomfortable if they do not know that's a sales call. So do that and also let them know you are not cheap. So this is done, this is done. Okay. Third thing is get an idea about their finances in the call. Okay. So if you take a look at the framework I use on how to close anyone is this, like you start and then you build trust. And I know people say you build the report for at maximum 15 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, you close the report. I disagree 100%. You always build the report more than like whatever you're doing. So if I just divide this time, I wish I had something to write down here, but this will be 30 to 45 minutes. This will be just 5 minutes. This will be 10 minutes. and then they just make the payment. So I just let them talk, get as much information as possible from them is in this particular area. I just let them talk, get everything about them. And whenever somebody in a flow state and they're just talking about themselves, they usually live out so many small little details about them that helps us to persuade them on the next step. But never ever emotionally blackmail them or use something emotional to make the sales. Do it ethically, and I know you can do so much better than that instead of using the manipulation and everything. So in this particular step, if you just get an idea about their finances and what exactly they are thinking, or maybe say like what are the previous, if they have used previous services like similar to you or coaching service or whatever, ask what they paid and everything. So that way you get an idea about how much they are earning, or probably how much they are spending, how much they spent in before, and what's the mindset they are in. So that will be really helpful. Then the next step will be, don't overthink it. I know the biggest obstacle from my client was also like, okay, yeah, this building report, everyone getting information is too easy, but how do I transition? The first step will be just don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. You made sure everything. You get an idea about, you completed all of this, you qualified them, got an idea about their finances, you let them know that this is a sales call, so they expect it. So don't overthink it and just go ahead with it, okay? Now the next step, frame it right. Silence. Wait until they ask about the price. If they don't ask about the price, just wait. They have talked for a while, and then you said to them, oh yeah, do you want to know what the next step is or anything? Like, anyway, maybe if they're talking for a while and they are just not talking about the price or what's the next step, maybe just go silence. Don't ask any more question. They will be awkward and they will be like, okay, what do I do? Like, what's the next step? What do we talk about or anything? Then you bring up the topic. Drop hints throughout the call. Throughout the call, you say, oh, you went through this. Maybe they're telling about any of their struggles, problems, pains, whatever. You just say, oh, I remember I went through the same thing. This is how I overcame it. Or just say, oh, I know a person who was in my coaching call who was going through exactly this, and this is how I was able to help that person overcome it. Okay, so that probably will be helpful. If you drop hints to the calls that, yeah, there's a pitch at the next, or you are in the call with that person to pitch them something, or just to let them know that this is a sales call, you are trying to sell something, or maybe you have a coaching program, and just letting them know that this is a program and this is how it helps people, okay? And also, if you tell people that you have helped other people overcome the same thing, it builds more trust, and hence you can pitch your service right. And then go straight forward if necessary, only if necessary. If somebody is like very going round and round and round and round, just don't want to talk about the coaching program or whatever you have. They just don't want to talk about that. Just go ahead and straight out and say, do you want to talk about how I might be able to help you? Just say the same thing. Do you want to talk about on how I might be able to help you with this? Because I know this is you're going through and you might be in this for a while. And I just know I can help you. Do you want to know more about it? If you just go ahead and do that, that would be so much more helpful. And then, what if the question is, you ask yourself, what if they don't have the money? What if they don't have the money? This is how I solved it for one of my clients. Does the person has the money? No. She was giving like free coaching to all of the person who was coming in and don't have the money. I was like, no. Put them in a free coaching group, okay? Put them in a free coaching group to make sure that they're getting the help they need. Put a course there, or put something, give something that would be incredibly valuable for them, and give them a little bit of help to get out of the state they are in, the financial, mental, whatever that is. But don't offer too much of a free thing, because there are people who take advantage. Subconsciously, they might take advantage, but consciously they were like, no, I just need help and everything. So you need to be very careful with that. So just give something for free that doesn't take a lot of your time. I hope that makes sense. And then if that person has the money, charge them, because if you're offering something that 10 times more valuable than the price, just charge them money. They have the money, charge them. Tell me something. If I come to you, I have so much money in the world. I come to you and I just say, oh, I feel so bad. I just went through this. I don't know. And if I just ask you, like, can you offer me help for free? What would you do? So if I come to you and maybe I have the purchasing power, I have the money to invest, but I just go and like, I don't know, I just went through this. I don't want to spend the money. I don't think. That's not your problem. That's none of your problem. Like, this person doesn't want to change themselves, doesn't value themselves, doesn't want to spend money on themselves. Why you want to spend your time, which is even more valuable than money? Not only that, if you spend that time with somebody who were paying you, or maybe you just spend that time reaching out to people who has the money, you're spending money to coach, like, to help them. That's like, I just hate that. So try not to do that if they have the money, okay? And then the second step might be, you can just use this analogy. Whatever your price is and how long it is, just divide it by the months. I just gave her the analogy that it was a 9-month program and the price was $11,111. So I divided it down. It came down to this. And I asked her, do you think all the time that you're spending with that person, all the resources that you're giving, do you think it is not worth this much money? Sometimes when you're charging a one-time fees, it might look a lot, but when you divide it in smaller parts, it doesn't look that much. So I highly encourage you to do that. Not only that, if your client gives you price objection, you can also use this analogy. Like, this is only this much every month. Can't you afford that to help yourself? And if the pain is bigger than whatever the money you are asking for, the payoff is bigger, good people are going to say yes. I'm going to leave you with that. And if you have any more questions regarding this, just let me know. I will answer you in the comments or whatever. And if you want to go more specific on how I might be able to help you, you can book a call from the link in the description, or just get value from this free calls and ask me questions in the comments and I will be able to help you. Okay, good. Bye.